everybody. Today I'm going to review Milwaukee's brand new 60-inch mobile workstation. This is a very large toolbox specifically designed with the mechanic in mind. It has a ton of storage capacity, and it really has some nice features that you don't see on other toolboxes in this price range. Now what I want to do in this video is give you some closer-up looks at this. We're going to go over all the different features, and then we're going to see how it performs when it's loaded down with tools. Here's a closer look at the box, and I do want to point out the dimensions on this will be slightly different, whether or not you install the included tool holder as well as the shelf on the other side. Now in addition to that, whether or not you keep the pegboard with its included rails might make it slightly smaller, with the overall dimensions of the box being 60 inches wide, just over 38 inches tall, and then 22 inches deep. When we include the pegboard as well as those rails, the depth increases to 24 inches. And then if you do include that shelf along with the tool holder on the side, it increases to 70 inches wide. There are 11 drawers with 3 possible widths, and the top 2 are going to be the widest, with their inside measurements coming in at 27 inches wide by almost 20 inches deep. This center section is going to have drawers that are 25 3/4 inches wide by 20 inches deep. And then the small drawers on the side are coming in at 12.5 inches wide by 20 inches deep. Also included is going to be a very large side cabinet with an adjustable shelf that can be removed, and this provides excellent storage for your larger and bulkier items. To secure the box, they have 3 different lock cylinders that are operated independently, but they are using the same exact key. This top lock is going to operate the top 2 drawers. The bottom lock will operate the bottom 9 drawers, and then the lock that's on the cabinet door is only going to lock the cabinet. Now keep in mind they don't have one master lock that will lock everything at once. You must unlock and lock these independently of each other, which would take a little bit of extra time over using just one standard lock cylinder like on other boxes. The biggest benefit for having 3 separate lock cylinders, although it will take longer to lock and unlock them, is the fact that your box will be more secure. Because if somebody, let's say, drills out this top lock, they might be able to break into the top 2 drawers, where your bottom drawers as well as that side cabinet would remain locked, and it's going to keep everything secure inside. So if you think about just having one lock operating everything, if they bypass that lock, your entire box would be at risk. Where in this case, they could only access the parts that that lock controls. By having the 3 separate locks, it is much more secure for your tool storage. And because they are using the same exact key, the additional time that it takes to lock and unlock these is very minimal. Milwaukee includes with the box 11 pre-cut drawer liners that will line up perfectly with all the large drawers as well as the small ones. You can slide those in place and then go ahead and close everything up. Now that will do a great job at preventing your tools from getting beat up when you put them in the drawers. It will also protect the finish of the drawer underneath that liner. Now normally with a toolbox you would have to go out and buy aftermarket drawer liners, cut those yourself, and it can be a tremendous expense. But because they did include these along with the box, you won't have to do that. The pegboard is pretty unique to this box because it is adjustable. It's not mounted fully in one position all the time, and you can notice a slide rail on both sides of it. Now this is going to go into a track on the brackets on the rear, which does increase the overall depth by 2 inches. If you don't want to use the pegboard, it is screwed on. You can remove it along with that bracket to make the box not as deep. And also keep in mind it's going to have 3 possible positions. In this case it's fully extended, or it can go halfway down or all the way down. Now when you get it in the position that you actually want to use it, they have a little thumb wheel screw on both sides. You'll lock it down in place and then install these side brackets, which will prevent it from accidentally falling down when you load it down with weight. The support brackets are bolted right into the metal frame of the pegboard, and then they have 2 additional holes that would allow you to attach it to the wood top. Now I chose not to do this because I would have to use the included very large wood screws, which would then damage that wood top. So instead I just bolted it to the frame. It looks to me like it's going to keep it from sliding back down, and the only negative, they would have a little bit of flex back and forth. Now because this will be pressed up against the wall, I don't foresee that as being a problem. But in the future, if it is a problem, I could easily drill this top, install those included screws and make it even more secure. The metal pegboard is going to be much more durable than a standard wooden pegboard, yet it will use the exact same pegs. Here I have a power tool holder. We can take a drill, hold it right in place, and because it is metal, that also means it's magnetic. With a magnetic tray like this, we can go ahead and pop it against the pegboard and it will hold it in place. On the right hand side of the box, you can see they have a power strip built in with 6 outlets, as well as a place to put 2 different multi-voltage chargers. We have their standard version as well as the rapid charger, and these are good for the M12 as well as M18 battery packs. Now keep in mind with that power strip, the cord is actually going to be inside one of the drawers. We'll need to pull that out, run it out the little bushing in the side, and then plug it into the wall. To do that, we'll take this top drawer, pull it out, and you'll notice the power strip inside. When you pull the drawer out fully, you can see a tab on the left as well as on the right. The one on the left you're going to press up, the one on the right you'll press down, and that will release the drawer off the track. Next, just take the drawer slides, press those back into place, and then take the power cord, reach it back through the drawer, and feed it through the bushing in the side of the box. As you feed the wire through, you're actually going to feel a bushing on the inside as well as on the outside. You'll grab the end of it, just pull it all the way through until all the slack is removed, and then we can go ahead and reinstall our drawer. Now that you've pressed the slides in on both sides, it's as simple as taking the drawer, lining it up with the tabs on each slide, and then just pressing it back into place. When the drawer goes all the way in, you can pull it out to test it, and we see that this drawer has been fully installed. Underneath the power strip and the chargers, you can notice that I've installed a shelf. Now this is included along with the box, and for bulkier items like this toe strap or even wire, this would be a good placement for it. They also have a place where you can install it on the opposite side of the box. So if you want to store things like chemicals that are flammable, it would not be a good idea to keep these directly underneath of electricity or a power source. So by having the option for putting this on the opposite side where no electricity is present, it would be a lot safer than keeping it underneath the chargers, especially with things like this that could catch on fire. On the left hand side, you can see that I have installed the included tool holder that can hold 6 tools and is really ideal for things like a large pry bar or even a breaker bar. Now one thing to note, the side handle that you move the box around with can be installed on the left or right hand side of the box. And with that tool holder and all the tools installed in it, the side handle would not interfere with anything, and you could easily install them both on the same side. The casters on the box are going to be the same as the ones that are on the 46-inch toolbox with my same complaint. Now even though these are very heavy duty, they're 5-inch casters and they are locking. They're very easy to operate, however they are not very easy to maintain because they do not have any Zerk fittings, meaning that the bearings on the top, as well as going through the center of the actual wheel, you must grease with a grease gun with a needle. It does not have a Zerk fitting that will push grease through it like more heavy-duty industrial casters would. Now that being said, the brake on this does work absolutely excellent. We'll just press it down, it will lock it into place and the box will not move. And then to release it, they have a separate tab on the other side. When you hit that, it's going to automatically unlock the brake, and then the box will freely move left to right. The laminated wood top is 1 1/8 inch thick. It's bolted down to the frame with 8 flush mount bolts, and the entire thing is pre-finished. Now the reason this is important, if you happen to mess up one side, either scratching it or staining it, you can unbolt the top, flip it over, and it's going to look brand new all over again. I went ahead and loaded the toolbox down with tools, and starting out with the bottom drawer, you can see that this one is set up for power tools in mind. They have a power tool organizer that is removable, but even with very large power tools like the Milwaukee 2763 high torque impact wrench, we can slide that right into place. It's going to stand upright and it's not going to catch the bottom of the drawer above it. In addition to that, we can keep a lot of extra battery packs in here, and then other smaller loose tools like the M12 polisher. Now I could put a lot more tools in this drawer, and because it does have 2 slide rails, the maximum weight rating is going to be 200 pounds. Directly next to the drawer that we had the drill and impact in, you can notice another large drawer that also features 2 sets of slides. This is also going to have a 200-pound rating, and we could easily keep bulkier things like chargers or even other power tools when we're not using it. And there's really no way to overload this drawer. Directly above that, all the rest of the drawers are going to have a 100-pound rating because they only have 1 slide rail. But even when they're fully loaded down, and in this case a bunch of battery packs, they'll still slide in and out very smoothly, and they don't hang up. All the way on the left-hand side, you can see a large door. Now this will access the cabinet inside that does have the multi-position shelf. You can fully remove this if you don't want it, or it does have 3 possible positions. This being the middle position, it can go above that or below it. And for larger, bulkier items, like this tool bag or even a hard shell case, it does provide a great place to store it, and you're not having to fill up one of the drawers. The most surprising thing to me will be the top 2 drawers because of their depth, as well as their weight rating. Now these are rated at 100 pounds. They're going to slide in and out very easily. And if you notice in this top drawer, I put a bunch of sockets. Specifically, we have socket trays in here, and then we have 1/2-inch deep well sockets. They are standing upright, and we have no clearance issues with the frame above it. All of the drawers have something called a soft close feature, meaning when you pull it out and then you go to put the drawer back in, you don't have to slam it shut. You'll press it almost all the way back in. Then the latches will catch and pull it in fully. This will prevent your drawer from slamming, and it's going to prevent the contents from moving around inside. So now you've seen Milwaukee's brand new 60-inch mobile workstation for yourself. And when you look at the different features they have built into it, like the power strip, the shelf on the side, the tool holder, and the metal pegboard, along with the high capacity weight rating, it really would make it a hard toolbox to beat, especially when you consider the price. Starting in May or June of this year, these are going to be at the Home Depot for $599. And Milwaukee is including a 3-year warranty along with it. So if you have a problem with it during that time frame, they will fix or replace it for you free of charge. Now as far as the pegboard goes, you do want to keep in mind, I have it fully extended. You can fully retract it or even completely remove it off the box. And honestly, that's my one complaint. I wish they would have made that an add-on option. That would have dropped the price even more and put it into more people's budgets. Because a lot of people aren't in a shop setting where this is going to be mobile or even up against the wall. The pegboard probably can't be utilized. But if you are in a shop setting where you can position it like I have it, it gives you a lot of additional storage that you otherwise wouldn't have. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.